Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 484. Happy Tuesday. That is the first sip of the day. It's a tasty one. Good morning, Jenny. Wild Times with the bulk. It's a lot of fun. This has been as entertaining as I expected and probably more. Because I always temper my expectations, especially when it comes to like a Goodwill donation. I'm gonna find a lot of 91 Fleer. But I found some good stuff so far, and I've only unloaded half of the big box. So I'm actually going to share to my Hobby Evolution viewers. You're going to get some sneak peek that I haven't shared yet on Twitter or social media or in a YouTube video. So my special Hobby Evolution viewers will get some new info on my bulk buy yesterday. George is awake. What is up? George is awake for this one. So what's up, Zach? So before I get into it, I just want to talk about hidden value. I'll happily take any Twins bulk off your hands and put some cash in your pocket. We can arrange that. In fact, do I have Twins boxes? Actually, I do have some. I have quite a bit of Twins boxes. Good time to stay awake. So what else a lot happened yesterday, obviously. I'm four tall boys deep, so feeling good. There you go. There you go. Um, I based on the vote yesterday morning, New Kids on the Block vote won the vote for nostalgia breaks. So I ripped open a pack of 1989 tops, New Kids on the Block. I did that yesterday morning. Produced it later in the morning, and then I published it last night. So that is available on my YouTube channel. Zach, I think instead of doing a nostalgia break after this, I think I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to create playlists because now I'm juggling Hobby Evolution, nostalgia breaks, and now my Adventures in 500 Pounds of Baseball Cards video series. So I'm going to take Zach's word from yesterday, take his advice, create some playlists so you can find these different series in a much more smooth layout on YouTube. What's up, Hayden? Good morning to you. Is the collection only baseball? No, it's all sports and it's some non-sports too. So I've actually only dug into about half of it. Half of it's still in the back of my car. In fact, I didn't tell my wife until like this weekend that I bought this. So she was in the hospital when I bought it. Like I literally purchased this collection in the waiting room of the hospital. So I told her last night, I'm like, yeah, this is what she was at the office and like, so this is what I did today. And I'm like, here's the funny funny part of it. I actually bought this while you were in the hospital. We were in the waiting, or I was in the room. You were in the hospital bed, but I didn't want to tell you at the hospital. I mean, you're in the hospital. I didn't want to tell you I bought a truckload of baseball cards. She's like, that's the best time to tell me because I was all drugged up. So she now that it's like it's an income stream, she's cool with my truckload purchases. Although she is concerned where I'm going to put them because I have over 2 million cards in my basement, and I'm running out of room. We need a bigger house. So she's the realtor, so she's going to work on that. Let's see. Thanks, Zach. It's Lunar New Year, so got to drink Mars beer. Oh, she didn't know. No, I held it within. I was gonna tell her before I picked it up, and I did. So she was at the office when I went and picked it up. Yeah. So yeah, she's back. She's back and doing work. She still needs assistance for certain things. So but yeah, she's moving around, walking around, working, showing houses, all that good stuff. What's up, Herman? Good morning to you. You can build a shed in your backyard. No, I can't. We have stupid HOA regulations. I can't build a shed. I'm gonna have to get climate controlled storage unit. Actually, I did when I first bought this, I thought I might have to go that route and buy and rent a storage unit. And actually, there's one a couple miles down the road, and it has great reviews. So at least now I have that in my back pocket. I have the knowledge. I at least I've scoped it out. So if any more bulk collections come across, I probably will. And what I'll probably do is take a lot of this junk. In fact, from this, yeah, there's people joke it's Goodwill. There's a lot of 91 Fleer, and there is, there's a lot of junk. There's a lot of like beat up cards. Like, have you ever had a friend who knows you're into collecting and they haven't collected in 30 years since the early 90s, and they're like, hey, you can have all my cards, and they're in like this. I don't have any. I have them out in the room from this, but they're in like one of those plastic containers, and they're just spread all over, beat to hell, dinged corners, creases, and like my buddy actually. So my buddy lives in Colorado now, and he's from Chicago. He had a bunch at his mom's house, and he's like, my mom will just ship these to you. You can have them. So, and there was actually there was like a Kobe Bryant, like I think it was actually I think it might have been Sports Illustrated for kids. And so there was like there was a couple, like I think I salvaged maybe like 50 Cubs cards that were just beat to crap, and I just ended up throwing them away. He texted, he's like, was there anything good? I'm like, well, there's a Kobe, there's an Allen Iverson. They were beat up. Everything was really beat to hell. And I'm sorry, but I threw like all of your childhood cards away because they were 1991 Fleer Commons and they were beat to crap. So it's funny. So yes, there is a lot of that, but there's some good stuff that I will share. But today I wanted to share the hidden value, and I found this with most of the collections I've bought through the years. There's a lot of hidden value, and sometimes it's hidden because the value's not there yet. The value is still to come, and that's why I like to hoard stuff. Because like some of my 2007 Ace Authentic tennis cards with a Novak Djokovic rookie, I had like 15 of them, and now they sell for over $100 each. And I had them in common boxes because they were tennis cards. Nobody wants tennis cards. Well, there's a market for Novak Djokovic rookies, and most people would say tennis cards, they're worthless. So there's a lot of hidden value. I'm going to go to the chat real quick. Jenny says I would rent a small office over a storage unit. That's another consideration I've thought, but then the overhead. You could at least open your office for office hours if you want to, but a storage unit you can't do business out of. And I've thought about that, but the problem with that is all of the overhead. I mean, you have rent, you have electricity, you have water, you have Wi-Fi, internet, and there's a lot of bills. And I've thought like, okay, if I, once I scale up to where I want to be, I'm going to have to hire somebody like as a shipping assistant. And do I rent an office and have all of my inventory in the office and just basically have an office? So I've basically, it's just got to come down to the numbers. And the way I've looked at it, I think it's feasible. When I get to that point, it's just getting to that point, and then finding somebody to do the job. So, but that is definitely under consideration. So we'll see. Nothing big will be no big changes will occur within my first year. So October 15th, that's the 1-year anniversary. I'll take a real long look at the numbers, projections, and see where I want to go. I did the same with my friend's collection here in Korea. Yeah, it's like you just get, hey, I've got a bunch of old like and my mom, bless my mom's heart. So I talk to my mom. Usually I talk to my mom once a week. So I was talking to her on Sunday, and her and her significant other they do like flea market runs and antique shops. Well, there was a flea market in Peoria, and so they went to this, and I'm like, oh yeah, somebody on my one of my Facebook friends set up selling baseball cards there. And she's like, yeah, there was a lot of baseball cards. I bought you some. So she's always looking out for me. She always buys me baseball cards if she sees them at an antique mall. And so it's usually like the 80s and 90s stuff at an antique mall or even flea markets. And one time she called me and she's like, "Hey, I'm at this flea market. There's a bunch of really old packs, unopened packs of baseball cards." So when you're in the hobby and when you hear that, like you automatically think to us really old is like Justin's in the chat, like 55 Bowman. Like I'm thinking, okay, if it's at like a flea market antique store, I'm thinking 70s, 60s or 70s. And so I'm like, okay, take a picture. And it's like 89 Donruss, 90 Fleer. I'm like, you better pass on those. What's up, Justin? More buddies, lots more friends than we thought, right? Right. I did the same with my friend's collection here in Korea. Let them down easy and send them a pic of your basement and tell them you have no room. Took out a few Cardinals and a couple of other cards that were okay, and the rest went to recycling. That's exactly what I did with Neil's stuff. I pulled, there was like a Kobe and an Allen Iverson. I pulled like 50 Cubs, and they were just beat to crap, but they're still Cubs. They're still part of my collection. And then the rest dumped right into the straight from. I think I recycled his container, his like 1991 baseball container. Not sure on Madison area here. The small offices rent about $400 a month. Not too bad. I think there's it's where I'm at. It's pretty pricey, but there's pockets of areas, and I don't need like a really fancy to do what I want to do. Like my vision initially is just an area, just space. Like it doesn't have to be. I just want the Motel 6 of office space. Um, Actually, now that I think of it, no, I probably want a little nicer than that. You can then get a distributor license and sell new product out of there as well. Now that's the tricky part, because now I do have all of the necessary, like I'm a wholesale distributor for BCW, so I have that stuff. But to get hooked up with a distributor, they're not like giving out wax allocation, so you can't get new product. So that's the issue with distributors. What's up, DR? Good morning to you. So back to the topic of the hidden value. So I'll just give you a little insight into what's in here. So I'm pulling stuff out. Ken's gonna probably watch this on replay. So Ken, I found a couple things for you. That'll be Ken's finder's fee, because Ken actually turned me on to this. So how this all came about was, wife's in the hospital bed. I'm watching Saturday morning TV next to her in the room, just scrolling Twitter, and I get tagged in a tweet from Ken. He's like, "Hey, this is in your city." I'm like, "Well, what is it?" So I click up, and it's I think it was Rip and Wax, maybe. I'm sorry who the initial tweeter of this, but it was a link to an eBay sale of 500 pounds of trading cards, and it was from Goodwill of Wisconsin, and it was here in Madison. And so Ken's like, "Hey, this is in your city." I'm like, "Oh, sweet." So I look, I'm like, it was $400 for 500 pounds of cards. I'm like, "Hey, that sounds like a really fun adventure." The entertainment value alone is worth $400 for this, and putting out the content. The video, I can't, I'm used to getting like 75, 80 views on my videos in like 15 hours. This has like almost 400 views. So I know what people want. They want these blind buy collections. So I'll have to find some more, put on YouTube. So yeah, so I clicked buy. I'm glad I didn't. So a little more insight. So last week, so my card show was on this past Saturday. So last week it was freaking, we had a couple days where it was like 30 below zero wind chills. I think one day it was 17 below zero, like real, like that's the actual temperature without the wind chill. So it's like, I don't want to like go, I don't even want to like get my mail today, let alone go pick up a truckload of baseball cards. Plus my car was full with my inventory for the upcoming show on Saturday. I didn't want to because if I did that, I don't like a lot of physical labor. So if I did that, I'd have to take all the cards out, go pick these up, take all of those out, bring all the cards back in. So I want to, you know, work smarter, not harder. So I'll just save it till after the card show where I only have to bring my cards, bring these cards in, load them up and bring them in. And then for my next show, I'll have my cards out. But limit the labor. Limit the labor. I'm all about limiting the labor. So I decided it's like I'm just gonna wait till next week, reach out to Goodwill. I'm like, hey, can I pick these up on Monday? Yep, we'll get you down. So, and I thought, well, maybe I pull in, and I'm in transportation, so I understand the lingo that they were giving me with, you know, the pickups and the dock and all that stuff. So, um, you know, I didn't know what the loading process would be. And so basically when I pulled up, it's like, thank God, it was 50 degrees. It was only 30 degrees yesterday, but it was 50 degrees warmer than like last Wednesday when I could have went and picked them up. Cause I was literally like just outside loading these up. So it's basically, it's not even like a loading dock, like a traditional, like where a semi truck backs up to a loading dock. It's just you pull up under an awning, you ring the bell, guy comes out like, "Hey, I'm picking up baseball cards." Show him the email from Goodwill, and he brings out the pallet, and then boom, you unload. The the unfortunate thing is it wasn't in all like 5-row boxes, 4-row boxes, or even 800 count boxes. There was a lot of like loose. There was in boxes weren't like taped up or sealed. So a couple boxes came open and there's cards like scattered all over the place. There's the plastic, are they jewel cases? I freaking hate those things. I tossed like 5 of them in the recycle like right away, empty. Pulled the cards out, put them in a box, and then I tossed them. So it was like, so the loading, the loading process, I guess it would be the loading of my car, took a little longer because there's just so many different size boxes. There was some like memorabilia. There was an I don't know. There was an autographed photo, but I haven't. That's still in the car. I haven't unloaded that yet. But there's a really cool. I'm going to share this on Twitter later today. I shared it with Zach because of his love of the Bears, and a really cool piece. I'll share it on Twitter later today. What else was there? There was some of the stuff I'm going to share in an upcoming video. So I wanted to tease some of the stuff. I took some pictures, posted on Twitter last night. Some of the stuff we'll dive into later today. So I'm going to do some shipping after the video. And then later this morning, I'm going to record some stuff and we'll get it posted for part 2. And then I'm going to unload the second half of all the stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And going back to the topic at hand for like a circling back like the 4th time, because I keep diverting the conversation. Hidden value. There's a lot of hidden value. In fact, and I don't want to share this just yet because I want to save this for the video because I don't know. There may be some even better stuff left in my car. Fingers crossed. I doubt it, but there could be of cards that I had no idea had any value whatsoever. But there are some cards that are worth quite a bit that if I had like if I didn't like actively look at various listings, would have had no idea. And I would have just been like, I don't want that stuff, just toss it. So that's where the hidden value comes in. So George asks a great question. Has your first glances of the crate put you at a decent profit? Yes. So I was a couple of my buddies, we have a text string. They live here in Madison. And we were chatting back and forth and they're like, how much? And I'm like, I've only unloaded half of the stuff. Just at first glance, just roughly, conservative estimate, I think with what I've unloaded, double my money. So double my money on that. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be tossed. There's a lot of, like my buddy Neil, the collection that I, tossed like all of his cards because it's beat up. There's going to be a lot. The recycle bin, I have to wait till next Wednesday for recycle day, but It's going to be filled with a lot of baseball cards because there's a lot of just beat up, crappy cards. I even came across, I was going through some where they were like ripped in half and then taped, which I found funny. It's like, I wonder if like a little brother got his hands on these and ripped them, and maybe that's why the one binder says "Do not open, keep out, or else," or whatever it said. Um, so that's there's some cards with scotch tape. They've been scotch taped because they were ripped in half by probably a little brother that was ticked off because he couldn't hang out with the big boys. By the way, I saw some vintage pages of like 55 or 56 tops in the first video. LOL. You did you? There is one card. There is one. I did find 156 tops so far. I'll have to go back and look at that video because I didn't notice that. I'm trying to think of what and the 56 tops that I pulled wasn't in a binder. So or in a page. So interesting. I'm gonna have to go watch that video myself. Shoot. Giving away some good stuff. In some of those pages might still be in the back of my car. Jenny says, what is your goal in terms of listing count to have listed by X date from this lot? That's a good question, and I don't really know. Zach, that's exactly what I thought. Kevin's brother. Kevin's brother got a hold of these cards, ripped them in half, and now on the red binder, he says, keep out or else. Once I get, that's a great question, Jenny. Once I get everything out, because right now I'm still juggling with shipping, getting stuff shipped out. I had a bad weekend on eBay, which is, I guess is kind of good because I had a card show. But I'd kind of like to have good on both. But I don't know how Jenny, your sales were, or Ken, your sales were. But my sales were definitely down over the weekend. I mean, even down compared to during the week. I had last Monday and Thursday, I had bad days. But Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday were just some of my best days in the last few months. And then Friday, I actually had a really good day on Friday, but then Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday were really weak. Yesterday was a little better, but still, those numbers are outdated. Let me see what Monday's final value was. Okay, just a few bucks more. So yeah, and so yesterday was a decent day. So yeah, but I was surprised by how slow my sales were over the weekend. So I don't really have a goal in mind because I'm kind of juggling the shipping. I've still got to unload. I don't have a show this weekend. I was thinking about going over to Oak Creek on Saturday. But I think with all of this, I'm probably just going to stay home. And tonight I'm socializing non-card. I told my wife this last night. I'm like, we're doing trivia. Like over the weekend, it's like, man, I need to get out and just like socialize non-baseball card. Like I love, and she's like, did you ever think a year ago that you would ever say that you want to socialize like and not talk baseball cards? And I'm like, yeah, like a year or two ago, I would have dreamed to have like one or two friends and associates and acquaintances that liked baseball cards within my area. And now, thanks to the card show and Twitter, I have tons of people in my area that I consider friends in the hobby. And now it's like, I miss my old friend. I want to go out with my old friends and not talk. You know, we talk baseball cards, a little bit, but we talk life, and it's not centered around baseball cards. So we're doing trivia tonight, centered around trivia. So that'll be fun. Be nice to get out, socialize. I haven't really socialized not at a card show or a Club 400 event in several months, it seems. Let's see. Jenny says my past 7 days super down. Yeah, I don't know what's behind that. It's it's kind of it's kind of strange. What's up, Dan? Um, it's almost like it's the dog days of winter now where it's kind of slow, and then all of a sudden January, we're after the holidays, so hey, we're spending gift card money. We're spending those gift cards in like mid-January where I saw the spike, and I think other people did as well. And now we're kind of like, okay, kind of slow. I expected usually it's kind of historically what I've seen with eBay sales is it's slow until mid-January, and then it slowly picks up and rises through February, March, April, and those are the peaks of the year. Um, where so far this year, so we've got January in our rearview mirror now. Um, I saw like a sudden, like I saw that gradual climb start back like right after Christmas, like in December, like the end of December, and then it kind of peaked in mid-January. It peaked like last week, and then over the last few days, it's just kind of gone backwards. And I don't know, maybe not enough news is coming out on the lockout. So who knows? It's kind of weird, and it could be it just could be within my own store where those 30-day time periods just aren't matching up where that 2 week period, I just had a ton of listings end. Maybe I was listing a lot more. I did list, I haven't listed as much in the last week, in the last 2 weeks, really. So that could be outside of the Bowman. So that could be part of it as well. Just went back. It was some of those Tops bigs from the Best Wax. Okay, yeah. They were in the pages that were near. Okay, yep. So I did take some of those out. Yeah, it was junk wax era. George, I smell what you're stepping in and appreciate your support. Jenny says there's 3 shows here this weekend. That's awesome because isn't your area pretty slow on shows? Not too many shows up there. George says, hey, I'm all about a label other than what it currently is. Card Hobbyist, good morning to you. Thanks for stopping by the chat. Download, line, and call me. We can just talk regular shit. Just wait, tax season about to hit. Yeah, and there's another thing. Where tax season used to be, now here in the hobby, so we've got like 1 year of taking advantage of those tax returns as sellers on selling to people who are getting their tax returns. Next year it might be the opposite where people are not spending money because they're having to pay in taxes because they're doing some selling. So it's going to be interesting to see how this year falls. I'm going to track it pretty close. What sales are like in March and April as people get their tax returns, and then next year March and April, are people not spending as much because now they're having to pay in, or their returns are less because they're selling cards and getting those 1099s from eBay and PayPal. If my taxes go to a wrong account, it's because I was listening to this show while filing. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Just kind of a random mishmash. Share a little insight into yesterday's collection. I will post part 2 of the video later today. So I'm gonna do some shipping now. Then I'm gonna unload some more stuff. Go through it. I've kind of been unloading. Like I'll take a tote up, bring it down, go through it, go back up, bring it down. Did that a couple times last night. I have basically what I want to show in video 2. So I'll do that, and that'll be released this afternoon because I'm going to be out tonight. So I'll release that this afternoon. So I do want to tackle that this morning. Card Hobbyist says MLB lockout putting a damper on Top Series 1. That's a great point. Like because it's February 1st. When does Top Series 1 release? Like next week? It's coming out very soon. Might be in 2 weeks. I think it is pushed back. Release. I think it is pushed back like a week or 2 based on when it's been out historically. Yeah, February 16th, which is pretty late. So it's still, we're still 2 weeks away from Top Series 1. So, and yeah, there hasn't been much hype. And I think maybe next week is the checklist. Hopefully, the checklist comes out like normal a week before release, and we get some hype next week. But I haven't ordered any yet. I was considering buying a case. I don't know. I might just buy some random, just a couple hobby boxes. I will buy some. Usually, I just kind of. I think last year was the first time I ever bought hobby boxes of Flagship. Because usually I get my fix of retail blasters. I'll buy 3 or 4 blasters, and that's kind of my itch. I scratch the itch. But there is a lot of value. Like Flagship is probably top 3 best return when it comes to hobby boxes. There's Heritage Miners is a really good one. What else? What else is there that just has a real great return? And then others at release have great returns. Card shop I went to Friday can't get Series 1 because owner passed in December and his wife doesn't have name on distributor license. Oh, wow. That sucks. Dan says I need to work on the New Kids on the Block names. Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a fan back in the day. It was kind of through like I mentioned my cousin Michelle in the video. She was like a diehard, all the posters and the shirts and the concerts and all that. My friend Mike, I actually went back and I looked at a newspaper archive and I found the front page of the newspaper, the Kewanee Star Courier, small town news, front page, New Kids on the Block records at my friend's dad's studio. I'll have to post that today. Yeah, so I know the names. I just don't know the faces. Like I know there's Jordan, Joey, Danny and Donnie. And who am I missing? Dan, help me out. Danny, Donnie, Joey, Jordan, Jonathan. Jonathan, was it Jordan? Are there 2 brothers? Jordan and Jonathan, I think. Were they brothers? Jordan Knight, Jonathan Knight, Joey McIntyre. Was it Danny Walton and Donnie Wahlberg? Because Donnie and Mark are brothers. Joey. Yep. Okay. Was it Danny Walton? What was Danny's last name? Donnie Wahlberg and Danny Walton. Is that correct? I'm not sure. Yes. Okay. Hey, I got it. Now I just can't put faces to the names. I think I know Charlie's Angels. I didn't even know who the characters were. I don't know what my next Danny Wood. Okay, starts with a W. I got that part right. Okay, let's do another vote. It's gonna win. Let's do 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna pick from these 5. You pick whoever has the most votes will be the next nostalgia breaks. We've got Star Trek Voyager from 1995 Skybox. We've got Spider-Man 2, and this is from 19. This is upper year, whatever year that is. Space 1999. I believe this is my oldest pack from 1976. Space 1999. Your connection is crap. I can't see anything. Those are the beer goggles. From probably 80. From probably 3 Jaws 3D. Okay, so you're gonna vote from these 5 packs. Jaws 3D. We've got 1 vote for Spider-Man. George, I assume you're voting for E.T. Phone home. We based 1999, the oldest pack I have from 1976. And then we've got Spider-Man and Star Trek. So we've got 3 different votes. We've got a vote for Spider-Man, we've got a vote for E.T., and we've got a vote for Star Trek. So George, you vote for E.T., only 1 vote. Anyone else? 9 viewers, only 3 votes. So Star Trek Voyager has a vote. Spider-Man has a vote. So we're going to dwindle it down to 2. So we're just going to, now it's out of these 3. Zach, be the tiebreaker. Where's Zach? Where's Herman? Okay, so we're voting now between these three: E.T., Spider-Man, and Star Trek. Card Hobbyist chimes in. Spider-Man, 2 votes for Spider-Man. We've got Star Trek, Spider-Man, and E.T. Okay, if I don't get a vote here, my connection's unstable. Dan wants help. Okay, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. No comments. Spider-Man. Spider-Man wins. Jenny and Card Hobbyist. F your voyage, Dan. I'm glad nobody voted for Star Trek. Sorry, Dan. Actually, I probably watched like Dan. I'm glad nobody voted for Star Trek. Sorry. Actually, I probably watched like Star Trek in the background. To break Spider-Man 2. Let's see. Spider-Man 2, what year this was? From Upper Deck. 2004. 2004. I'm behind on 2 speed. Hold on, ET. Zach, sorry, you're late. Spider-Man 2 wins. So that'll be the next nostalgia break. So thanks for tuning in. So the nostalgia break, I'll release it tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'll publish that. Later today, I call it Star Trek. Star Trek. Star Trek. Star Trek. Star Trek. Star Trek. I like Star Trek better. So, and then another nostalgia breaks coming your way where we rip Spider-Man 2 from 2004. So thanks for voting. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And if you're not, please subscribe and please hit the like button. I appreciate it. And have a great Tuesday.